Hi, I'm Pastor Kurt, and this is your 5-minute Bible study. Today, we're going to be looking at Matthew chapter 15, verses 21 through 28. This is the story about a woman who comes before Jesus with a request for him to heal her daughter. She comes before him, tells him her daughter's sick. Jesus follows the woman and heals her daughter. Actually, he doesn't. That's what we expect to happen, right? Plenty of people have come to Jesus with requests for healing, and he's healed them. But you look at this text, and that's not how it happens. What happens instead is that we find out that this is a Canaanite woman, meaning she's a Gentile, she's not Jewish, and at first, Jesus just ignores her, which is strange. Then the disciples tell him that this woman is bugging them and just to send her away. Jesus says that he was sent to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. The woman continues to plead with him. Jesus then talks with her and says it's not fair to take the children's food and throw it to the dogs. Jesus called this woman a dog? Back in that culture and in ours, it's never a compliment to call someone a dog, especially a woman. You can probably think of a term for a female dog that women often get called that's an insult. Jesus basically called this woman that. The woman, though, then says that even the dogs get the crumbs that fall from their master's table. With that comment, Jesus recognizes the woman's faith and heals her daughter. Now, what in the world is going on here? This does not sound like the Jesus that we know and love. Why did he treat this woman this way? This is a very tricky text, and there might not be a really good answer for why Jesus treats this woman this way, but there are a few different theories. One theory is that maybe Jesus was just a product of his time, that this is how people in that particular culture would have treated Canaanite women. Okay, but we have seen plenty of other examples where Jesus has pushed against his culture, where Jesus has not lived the way that most people lived. So that theory doesn't really work. There's another theory that says maybe Jesus had to learn something from this woman. Jesus was human after all, and humans have to learn things. So maybe this Canaanite woman told Jesus that God's love is for everybody. Maybe she helped him learn that. Okay, but Jesus was also still God too. So that theory doesn't quite work either. It's unclear why Jesus called this woman a dog and why he treated her this way. What is clear is our reaction to what has happened. When we look at the text, if we look at what comes right before it, we notice that Jesus talks about things that defile. And he talks about how it's not the stuff that you put in your mouth that defiles you, like different foods. Rather, it's the things that come out of your mouth. It's what you say. It's how you treat people. Then immediately after that, we get this example of Jesus' interaction with this woman. I think it's important to notice what comes before this scene because it helps us to understand it in a different way. Jesus is showing kind of how repulsive it is to treat people like this. In that context, the disciples would have probably cheered him on when he called her a dog. and then they would have been surprised when he heals this woman's daughter. We are the other way around. It doesn't surprise us that he healed her daughter, but it does surprise us the way that he treated her. Whatever the case may be, whether we're back in that context with the original disciples or in our own day, this story kind of helps to illustrate what came before. That what defiles you isn't what you put in your mouth, it's what comes out of your mouth. You know this. You know how important it is to treat people correctly. Why Jesus treated this woman this way is just a question that's kind of still out there, and biblical scholars don't really have a good, solid answer for it. But it still helps us think about how do we treat people. How do the words that come out of our mouth show love or not show love? Do we show prejudice or stereotypes to them? Do we label them? Do we do all kinds of this nasty stuff to them? Do we think that they're not worthy of God's love? Maybe that's what this text is getting at. Maybe that's the point of it, to help us think about how we treat others. There's your 5-minute Bible study for the day. Please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks.